not going this time.
I'm sorry. Don't give me that look.
Hello, I'm David Gray. It's the middle of May, and I am finally on the road for my first backpacking trip of 2023. This is by far the latest I've ever gotten started with a backpacking season, and I guess the reason I can blame it on that little thing called life. One thing kind of led to another, and before you know it, we find ourselves out here in May, and we're heading out on the first one. We're heading down to Gatlinburg, where we're going to be meeting up with Carl and spend the night tonight at the Jack Huff's Motor Lodge that we kind of stumbled upon with our trip last year. We're going to be doing a 3-day, 2-night, 15-mile or so hike out of the Elkmont area. Very similar area to where we hiked last year, but we're going to be staying in different campsites than what we did in 2022. Weather-wise, this one looks a little bit iffy. The temperature should be fine. I think we're going to have highs in the 70s during the day and lows in the 50s at night. But Saturday looks like about an 80% chance of rain and a little bit lesser chances on Friday and Sunday, but I have a feeling we're going to be getting wet on this one. Dogs aren't allowed in the backcountry or Great Smoky Mountains National Park, so I'm not going to have any furry friends along with me. But on the drive down to Gatlinburg, I do have the company of Christian. He's back from Colorado for the Indianapolis 500, and he decided to come in a little bit early so that he could join me for this hike. And with that, let's get this drive going so we can have a night down in Gatlinburg before we get hiking tomorrow. This is kind of indicative of what the entire drive has been. I don't know why on a Thursday afternoon, but it has been one continuous traffic jam. Heading towards Gatlinburg, the weather looks a little threatening. We'll see what we get, but getting closer. I always thought this little parkway from Pigeon Forge to Gatlinburg is so cool. Traffic hasn't changed Gatlinburg. Weather got really nice in Gatlinburg. Let's hope it stays this way the whole time we're here. I see Jack Huff's. It's got such a nice location because it's like right off the strip, and yet it's very quiet. And I see Carl on our balcony. We got the same exact room we had before. He's already drinking. Oh, he's drinking water. Okay.
Horrible,
dry.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah.
That was like the drive from hell.
Was it?
What do you think?
Cool too. Yeah, this is nice.
You ordered up some good weather too.
Yeah.
Holy smokes, this is nice.
It doesn't look like it's going to be like an
Just
all-day
spotty
gully washer.
Yeah.
It's just going to be like storms, rain in here, there, which would actually be pretty cool.
Typical summer type stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's going to be warm. Temperatures are going to be in the 70s, highs in or lows in the 50s.
Perfect. We have short hikes, so
And-
no stress, no elevation gain, no elevation loss.
You realize we're working our way to not even doing any hiking at all, right? I thought about that on the way down.
I did too.
We're like one step away from skipping the hiking.
I'm thinking, if it rains even the least little bit.
I just missed Travis, man. I remember all three
I
of us sitting
know,
here
I
last
know.
year.
Let's see if this guy can take our picture.
I will take your picture. Thank you. Hi there. Hasn't changed. Nice. Thank you. Yeah, they got the music trivia going again. I think we're going with the Big City Route when I skipped it last time and it was a mistake. All right, here we go. Back to the Big City Route. All right, this is really a two-hander here. I should have thought to have the napkin first. I am the man, so is he.
He's done that great.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you very much. That's really cool. Last year when we were sitting out here talking with Carl, we weren't sure we were going to be able to do the Smokies hike. When we showed up at the front desk to check in, they said, "Hey, bad news, Great Smoky Mountains National Park is closed." That's what Carl told me when I showed up at the door. It was like, what? Yeah, it was some sort of a weird storm that went through, and they were predicting like 90-mile-an-hour wind. I don't know if that ever happened.
Because they were worried about
Trees
falling down
Oh,
on
yeah.
people while they were hiking.
Yeah, when you got winds that high, man, you're going to have trees and branches coming down all over the place.
Hard to find those anymore.
Yeah, you said it was an old.
Oh, yeah.
Dunkin' Donuts, but it'll work.
Jack Huff's old school. So you gotta use a key. It's kind of that moment, first cup of coffee in the morning, perfect 55-degree morning in Gatlinburg, birds chirping, the sun's up for now, anticipating a little hiking in Great Smoky Mountains National Park. Doesn't get a whole lot better than that, even without Dunkin' Donuts coffee. Good morning. Welcome to day number 2 of the trip, first day of hiking in Great Smoky Mountains National Park. For right now, anyways, we couldn't ask for better weather. There's like not a cloud in the sky. Temperature's probably 60 degrees, zero humidity. It is absolutely perfect for hiking. Got the car pretty much packed up. We're just waiting for everybody to kind of gather here, last minute check of the room. But we're going to go over to the Crockett's Breakfast Camp where we had breakfast last year before our March hike. Have some breakfast and then head into the park, head over to Elkmont and get this hike started. We only have about probably 2.5 miles to go today. So it's going to be a pretty short one. We should be done well before noon. But we'll be spending a lot of time in camp and kind of exploring around that area. Enjoy a campfire and enjoy our first backpacking trip of 2023. That is not something you normally see on a backpacking trip. Christian and his Brussels sprouts.
Gonna be yummy.
Those are gonna be part of dinner tonight, just to let you know. Hot dogs and Brussels sprouts. Driving through a quiet downtown Gatlinburg on our way to the National Park. We're gonna stop at Crockett's Breakfast Camp up here. Looking forward to getting going on some hiking. Now we're going the other direction through Gatlinburg. We're on to Plan B because we could not find a parking place at Crockett's Breakfast Camp. Definitely one of the downside of that place, if you ever go there, is parking is kind of a mess. So we're heading up to the log cabin, which has a very generous parking lot. On to Plan B already, we haven't even started hiking yet. See. What? There he is. Oh my gosh. This brings back memories. Tyler, if you ever watch this, you'll probably remember our little adventure here. Sweet.
You're welcome. Enjoy, guys.
Thank you.
It's like a load. It's a lot.
Yummy, yummy. Breakfast before backpacking, always special treat.
We'll have the no pancake special as well with eggs over medium.
Breakfast of champions. Christian's going with the breakfast sandwich option, and Carl's basically doing the same thing I am. Heading out to Elkmont, past the Sugarlands Visitor Center, and the day certainly hasn't deteriorated so far. Alright, that's a turn off to Elkmont. Starting to look like familiar territory. Starting to get excited about hiking. Yeah, this is a very popular day hiking spot. There's a couple spots right there. Alright, we found a parking spot. I've arrived at the trailhead. The traditional weighing of the bag.
Oh gosh, man. You're like ultralight.
What is it?
29.
29?
Nice.
I must have left
forgot
something home.
Your shelter system, maybe?
I think that's the first time I've ever been under 30.
I think you're going to win. Christian's only 31.3.
Well, he's got like a case of IPAs in there.
Really?
I thought it'd be a little heavier than that.
This is a luxury camping trip.
31.3. That's not
Oh, that's not bad. We're all about 30.
not bad.
Yeah,
Not
I
too
thought it'd
bad.
be worse
We
than
can do it.
Not for not carrying this time.
Relatively light, but with lots of luxuries. Christian's got about a case of IPAs and 2 pounds of Brussels sprouts.
Yeah.
There's an interesting backpacking combination. We're hiking. If we can find the beginning of the trail. Oh, right here. I remember that. That's a little river trail. A little shorter walk to the car from the end of the trail than last year when we had to go up that hill to the Jake's Creek trailhead. Husky Branch Falls, which is what that bad boy is right there. Stop for a group shot. 2 miles into it, and we probably got another quarter mile or less maybe until we do the turnout that heads up to the campsite, which is on that side of Little River. And then I think it's about 3/10 of a mile up in the woods that way. We've been hiking for, about 40 minutes. Almost like car camping with a little walking involved with something on your back. So, but we'll call it backpacking. Important junction here. This heads off to campsite 21. This is the Husky Gap Trail. And if we keep going this way for a while, it would go all the way to the Newfound Gap Road and then ultimately up to the Sugarland Mountain Trail to Clingman Stone. 3/10 of a mile to campsite 21. So much for our wondrously flat little river trail. I want to file a complaint. I thought we were flat all day today, but we got a little terrain here into camp. So this is what we find ourselves in. Right before Camp 21. Gorgeous forest. Right, reached the turnoff for campsite 21. I see some people up there. Oh, this is beautiful, man.
Yeah, this is awesome.
A little bit of uphill to the camp. We're kind of like car camping with some walking involved.
I mean, that's what we've been doing.
Any recommendations on which site would be best?
They're all beautiful around here.
Any flatter than others?
Yeah, there's one up there, and then there's one a little further.
Thank you.
Yeah, you too. Is that for bareback?
This is home for the night. It's not very flat. Campsite 21, if you can get any feel for the terrain here from this shot. This will be our campsite. There's actually, you can't see it, but there's a fire ring and sitting logs there. The people we met are kind of down the hill there. What a setting. Look at this. This is like, I've never camped in a spot like this. These super tall coniferous tree or deciduous trees. This will be home for the night. Campsite 21. Here's another site not far from ours. Just so you can see Carl kind of measure doing his hammock pole tree measuring technique. This is typical Smokies campsite stuff. Unlike Glacier where they show you where all the sites are and they're pretty specific, here it's just an area and it can be spread out over a pretty big space. Through these trees you see a hammock hanging way down there. It's probably 100 yards. You kind of see Carl over in this area in our site. That's how spread out there. I'm typical Smokies campsite, number 21. Yummy, yummy. That's tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Get
the Brussels sprouts, I guess.
Brussels sprouts and spam.
What a combination.
Only,
we might could
only in America.
cube spam mixed in with Brussels sprouts.
And all the guys from South Carolina are going, "Where's the liver mush?"
They can
Like,
have it.
we did liver mush last year. We left it home this year. Yeah, that's trail food there. This is.
Is this heavy stuff?
Stop making fun of us out there in YouTube land. This was a car camping trip with a little bit of walking. This wasn't real backpacking.
This is packet non-gourmet.
Lighting of the fire.
Best part of camping.
Surprisingly, it seems that there's ample supplies of firewood around campsite 21 if you go a little ways away from the main camp area. People haven't strolled too far away, so you can find it. You just got to go about 100 yards from camp. You might need that before this trip is done.
I know it. That's why I told Chris, I said, I think we'll go ahead and set it up because you never know.
Well, there's definitely wood around. I've gone every different direction and I've found stuff. I don't think it requires any particular direction, just about 100 yards from camp.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should be fine now.
Awesome, thank you very much. Carl doesn't mess around with this little crap.
I hate to come back in because it's just sitting right there. So.
Oh.
Well, we gotta make it last all day.
That was good and heavy too.
Yeah,
That'll
that's the
burn
one
for a
that'll go
while.
all night long. Critical mass in mine now.
Yeah, you're going. Oh, yeah.
It took a while.
Yeah.
Once I can dash flush, I'm usually okay.
Yeah.
This is probably like the 4th time that I've hiked with my dad and
This is my son.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
saw you on YouTube.
Yeah, he's
I
been
think
on.
it's
Yeah,
in
I've been in a
Colorado.
few videos.
May I shake your
You
hand?
sure can.
What a
Very
pleasure.
nice to meet you.
Man, what
We'll
a pleasure.
get ya.
Let me shake all your hands.
Oh, yeah.
This is a treat for me. This is
your
like,
name?
And I'm Carl. I'm from Alabama.
Oh yeah, I've seen
You can tell from his
could-
accent.
Yes, sir.
Damn, what a trip! Oh my God.
Here, I'll get in the middle.
Yeah, it was great to meet you guys. That's
Oh, it's a
awesome.
pleasure.
That you recognize him.
On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Yo!
Thank you so
How's
much.
that, you guys?
Yeah.
For me, it's like once in a lifetime thing.
Yeah,
So it's special to me. Very
I think
special for me.
This will be the easy part here to set this where
Now I see it.
and then I'll do a. Is that about the right height for you? What do you think?
A little higher.
A little higher.
Yeah.
Okay, so just raise that up. I guess perfect.
Looks good. Should keep you protected.
Just kind of like that movie.
Packet Gourmet Cheddar Cheese Spread Rehydration Time in the Smokies 2023.
For how long?
It'll probably take an hour. Cheddar cheese spread time with Ritz crackers. On our first night here in the Smokies in campsite number 21. We have enjoyed our stay in campsite 21 immensely. It's a really nice spot. No doggies in the Smokies, so
Oh, we get more cheddar cheese spread now.
yeah, I think we all get more. Is it?
I don't know if you want me to. Oh, hands are kind of dirty, so.
Here. Oh, sorry, Carl.
No problem. Thank you.
A little crunchy, but still good.
What if it was like appetizer before the main course, which is going to be gourmet fire roasted hot dogs?
Place it where you'd like to, sir.
All right.
Oh, wow. Nice job.
I feel like a, what's it, Trident?
Yeah, that's right. Let's put it at the end. There you go.
We're not going to have the patience to sit and let them cook like that far off the fire.
We'll say stick them in the coals. Oh man. Wow. Can't get that flavor in a freeze-dried meal.
So good. Yeah, that is really good.
Pretty hard to beat that.
That hits the spot. Even as it's starting to rain. Ooh, I'm starting to feel drops now.
Are you?
They're penetrating the canopy overhead.
Those are some pretty good looking hot dogs, Carl. My mouth is watering.
Mine too.
Which one do you want?
I don't care. Doesn't matter at all.
Round 2.
If it's warm, it's good. Round 2.
Alright, as I crack a beer, we might need to get a ruling on whether this is real backpacking or not.
Oh, it's real, baby.
Technically it is.
You packed it
Carrying
in.
a pack on our back.
Yep.
It sounds like it's raining so hard that I'm
feel it.
barely getting.
Yeah.
Hey, unhook it. Oh, that's.
Well, then you rotate it. Rotate the hook down. See that?
Yeah.
Just like on a circle. Try not to get it stuck.
So you got multiple hooks, so you can put multiple peoples on there. And you pull it back up. And then come back here.
Hook it back down.
And you're done.
Good morning. Welcome to day number 3 of the trip. Day number 2 in Great Smoky Mountains National Park. Day number 2 of hiking for the entire 2023 season. It's just fantastic to be out in the woods again finally in 2023. It was a good night, spitting rain here and there. Got up a couple times to go to the bathroom and it was really dark and lots of fireflies. That's the first time I've ever experienced that. I wear contacts. I didn't have my contacts in, so I couldn't see really clearly, and all I saw were these green glowy streaks along the sky. It's like, whoa. Until I realized they were fireflies, and then it was kind of cool. There's another Smokies first for you. Another really short day today. We're going to hike up to campsite number 24. Stayed there once before back on the 2023 trip, 2017 trip. Isn't really much to speak of. I don't think it would rate as high as campsite 21 did. This place was fantastic. I am in desperate need of some coffee right now, so I'll head back up to camp and get some coffee, and then we'll get the morning camp chores going, get a little bit of breakfast. Nothing better than a cup of Dunkin' Donuts coffee in the woods in the morning. This is the first one of 2023, so I'm having a feeling it's going to taste even better. No need for it for the warmth this morning. It's actually pretty warm, so here we go. Started 2023 coffee in the backwoods. Oh, it's just kind of like gets the turbocharger rolling. Breakfast this morning is going to be Peak Refuel strawberry granola, primarily because it's by far the heaviest thing I have in my food bag. So. It says to wait 5 minutes for it to rehydrate, but I found the texture gets a little wiggy if you do that. Well, continuing with our, we're not really backpacking theme. We're kind of car camping with a little walking involved. Carl's got the bacon going. This ought to get Christian out of his hammock. It's like a bear call. He'll become grumbling.
Here, come here, Smokey the Bear. We got bacon for you. Only thing better than coffee in camp in the morning is bacon in camp in the morning. I'm trying to figure out how to save some of that sizzly bacon grease for the Brussels sprouts tonight. Carl's a little concerned that it might have like a whole family of bears tracking us down the whole time to camp today. All right, Christian. This is your motivation to get rolling.
Oh, thank you.
Well, just one. Breakfast in bed in the Smokies. Doesn't get much better than
We
that.
expect big tips, though. How is it?
Oh, man.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man.
Geared up and ready to go on day number 2. It's about 20 miles today, right, Carl?
20 miles.
Give or take a decimal point. Don't tell anybody though, it'll just be our secret. Here we go, leaving campsite 21. It treated us well. On to number 24. A nifty little hill right out of camp. Uphill this time. I didn't remember coming down this. That's what you start your day on coming out of 21. It's just to access the Blue Blaze Trail over to the trail. Alright, this is an important junction. This is the junction of the Little River Trail, which continues up this way. And what you're looking down on the right side of the viewfinder there is that's the Goshen Prong Trail. If you look way off in the distance, there's a bridge that actually crosses the Little River, so it's about 100 yards to the right of the camera here. Last year we headed up that way. If you're going to go to campsite 23, it's about 3.5 miles up there. Beautiful hike up along the Goshen Prong. One of the most spectacular river type hikes in my mind in the Smokies. 7/10 of a mile to campsite 24 and home for the night after our brutally long day of hiking today.
Walk across the street to that.
When I started recording, Alright, I just wanted to show you this. 10:30, we're in camp, pretty much set up, and the fire's already going. That may be a record. Christian is all over this fire this time.
The Fire King.
Before the rain comes.
Oh yeah, we're expecting rain and we got to go gather firewood, so we're going to be all over it. So I think this is going to be our source of firewood. Seems like we got plenty, and Carl's going to work on the larger chunks.
Thanks, David. You get those
I
sticks
think
over
you can
there.
get that one on your own. Do you need
Okay.
any help with it?
No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm just gonna roll it back.
That probably weighs like 400 pounds. We aren't really going to use that one. That was for video effect. We're doing the Park Service a face, Carl. We're like a Park Service cleaning crew. The way I'm looking at it, we did the National Park Service a favor. We transported that entire down tree from up there to our camp. As they say, some assembly required.
No sawing.
Carl's doing the assembling with the saw. No shortage of firewood around Camp 24 this time around. That was a ginormous down tree. Like a rope on one of them, this little thin little rope that didn't do much other than wasn't supporting you.
False confidence.
Something to hold on to when you fell in.
All right, here we go. On 3. 1, 2, 3. That's good.
All right, cool. This will be great. The selfie on the video. Okay. 3, 2. Lunch. More spam. By the way, we're having spam for dinner. Oh, there's where the... But we're having Brussels sprouts. About 3 pounds of Brussels sprouts we've been hauling around with us. But we're also having spam for lunch because it just sounded really good. Not the way Carl ate it though, which was cold, squeezed out of this thing with a nice jello and everything on it. Awesome. All right, here we go. I'm not sure if everybody gets spam in other countries. I gotta show you. See that nice chunk of pork jello on there, and then that's the way Carl made it. They do say it's fully cooked. You can eat it any way you want, but
Jello's just a dessert.
we prefer it with a little bit of fire on it. So there you go. Man, that's gonna be good. You can't mess up the spam. I don't think there's any wrong way to do it.
No.
That's a good lunch right there.
No, I'm good, man. I'm
good?
Yeah.
Okay.
I had my cold spam with the jello.
Yeah, this probably doesn't live up to the standard of a cold gelatinous spam clothes, but probably hot.
did a bit.
Good. Oh, Bob. Oh, gosh. Oh. Well, I'm just kind of out exploring. This is reminiscent of a couple trips I did. The 2017 trip I did solo, and then last year the 2022 trip where we went up this trail all the way to the end and campsite number 30. And this is the campsite 24 site that I stayed at in 2017. You can see it's kind of taking it on the chin a little bit with this tree that's over there that's fallen on most of the campsite. I had a little tarp set up there because it started pouring down rain on me, but this was my site in 2017. It's like the rain finally caught up with us. Tight quarters cheddar's cheese spread time in the rain. I don't know when the last time we did one of these in the rain, if ever. We may never have.
Dry. Yeah, I don't know.
We knew we were expecting rain today, and we were hoping we'd avoid it. Carl.
Thank you.
But it finally caught us. Noticed that bright thing up in the trees in the sky and couldn't figure out what it was, and we think it might actually be the sun. Well, the first time we've seen it today, but after all that rain we might be getting a little sunshine here.
Brussels sprouts on a skillet before. I think they always make them in the oven.
I've been done in the air fryer before.
Oh yeah, that would be good.
This is fairly typical Alabama backpacking food.
Yeah.
Not so much in Indiana. Now what was kind of silly was the fact we carried 3 pounds of Brussels sprouts around with us until the very last night. Slippery little suckers.
5-second rule. I'm just gonna look at it. That's classic.
Don't cross the beams. Don't cross the spam. You sort of need smell-o-vision for this because you've got the smell of fire-roasted, stick-spitted spam and Brussels sprouts that Carl's cooking up over there. What a strange combination. It must be an Alabama thing. How much longer on the Brussels?
Well, if we finish them off, it'll take a while, but I'd say...
Let's do that first batch.
Let's do the first batch.
And you can just cook those while we're eating.
Yeah.
We'll let them go. Divvy those up, and then you can pull the spam off with that little spatula thing. Because they might be a little hot.
David?
Yeah, careful at 10 minutes. Alright guys, dinner of champions. It's all kind of fresh veggies, man, that's awesome. Last dinner in the Smokies. Not bad.
Not bad. Not bad at all. Delicious.
We look like we're like campers in some Florida RV park with our big trailer and our floor mat out there with our little lantern light. This is awesome. In the rain.
We could be the campground host.
Campground 24 campground. Host.
That's right. We'll bring you wood.
Yeah.
Go get a wood, Christian.
Once this kind of goes down, stack a couple big logs on it, it'll burn.
Definitely.
I mean, these ones are wet enough, they'll burn for hours and hours and hours. And I love that glow of the fire.
Oh yeah.
When it gets really dark.
Hitting your tent.
It just is like real comforting, soothing or something. Now that and the sound of the water and the pitter patter of the rain.
Crackling of the fire, basically all the white noise.
This is it, man. This is what they pay for those white noise machines. The Zen, the YouTube Zen TV. This is it. Man. Right
That's
here.
right.
We're living it. Good morning. Welcome to day number 4 of the trip, day number 3 of hiking, also known as the last day. Boy, what a rainy night that was. I think it rained really from just before we got into the tents it started raining, and when we got into the tents it really started raining, but that tarp served its purpose admirably well. It made it the difference between being stuck in the tent all night and having a very enjoyable evening around the fire. It's definitely damp, not too cold, so that's kind of nice, and the rain has stopped, which is really nice. There is nothing worse than packing up all your gear, which is already soaking wet, but doing it in a downpour. The plan for today is pretty simple. We're just going to pack up all the stuff, and then we've got about, I think, 4 or 5 miles down to the trailhead, and our hike will be done. On this particular morning, I am in desperate need of a cup of coffee, so that will be the first thing we do this morning, and then we'll get going in earnest with the camp chores. Dunkin' Donuts coffee on a typical Smoky Mountains morning, I'd have to say. A lot of the ones I've spent here were just like this, dark and gloomy and kind of a little bit foggy in the woods, and it's got that rainforest type feel to it. Hot cup of coffee always is pretty good to get the morning started. Keeping Smokey the bear happy, dousing our fire, which remarkably still had a whole bunch of coals in it, was putting off a lot of heat even this morning, so it served us well, but we got to keep it safe for the next people and for everybody who visits here. We are geared up, left no trace, we're hiking. We're already crossing our first stream, 5 feet from camp. Little tester right out of the gate here. We're on our way, heading back to Elkmont today. Second little tester about 100 yards south of campsite 24. These are the easy ones compared to what we had to cross a little farther north as we headed up to campsite 30 the last time. Just tell you how slippery these rocks are. Even Carl took a little bit of a tumble there, but he's okay. Just get the heart beating in the morning, but not a bad setting to be doing it. On our way to Elkmont. This is what we're hiking in. Same trail we came up on. Carl's going about 5 miles an hour. I'm feeling like I should throw out a tow line. At this pace, we're going to be to Elkmont in about half an hour, that 4 miles. It's gradually downhill today all the way back to Elkmont. And the trail just gets smoother and smoother the closer you get with all the day hikers. So We'll be smoking fast today. First significant milestone. Left turn there to the Goshen Prong Trail. Continue on the Little River Trail down this way. Another important milestone. It's the cutoff trail to go to campsite 21. So now we're doing what we did on day number 1. Another significant milestone. This is Husky Branch Fall, a little less than 2 miles to Elkmont. Made it back to the cars. That is always a wonderful feeling, even on a short hike. Made it back to Elkmont. So there you have it. The first trip of the 2023 season. Great Smoky Mountains National Park is in the books. This was a low mileage hike, only about 15 miles or so. But as the saying goes, this one was definitely more about the smiles than the miles. But even as a short hike, it was a perfect icebreaker for the 2023 season, and an even better shakedown hike for the upcoming Yellowstone trip that we're going to do in about a month or so. It was great to get out in the woods with Carl and Christian again and do a few miles in the Elkmont area of the park, which is really more known for the rivers and the foliage and the bird noises and the wildlife and the rainforest-like atmosphere than the spectacular views that you get way up high along the Appalachian Trail. It was a short hike, but it still gave us the opportunity to spend 2 nights out in the backcountry of the Smokies. Enjoy 2 wonderful campsites, number 21 and 24. We had fantastic campfires both nights. Got a little bit of rain the last night, but even with that we were lucky because the rain really didn't come in until later. We didn't hike in it. Had the tarp set up when it came in. We were able to enjoy the fire under the tarp. Poured down rain all night long while we were in our tents, but it stopped just in time to break down camp. We got the 2023 season off to a great start with a hike in Great Smoky Mountains National Park. Doesn't get a whole lot better than that. It was a short hike, but it was definitely a great hike.